people there. Wales, in case you don't know, is about the size of Massachusetts. About 2.5 million people there. And we have a saying in Wales, there are 3 types of people. The Welsh, those that want to be Welsh, and those with no ambition. But I've changed that since I become part of the Jdrf. I say now, there are 3 types of people in this world. There are those that want to cure diabetes, those that would like to, or rather those that cure diabetes, those that want to cure diabetes, and those with no ambition. So I think this room is full of the former. So join me as a person that has the same mission as everybody in the room. I show you this slide because some of you probably have never been to the national headquarters, and we're in this white building here. I don't know what floor, it's the 19th floor, but this is the Brooklyn Bridge, so it's at the tip of Manhattan, so it's a pretty interesting spot to be, bottom of Wall Street of all places. The mission, of course, is, as I've said, is to cure this disease, and as well as its complications through supporting research, which makes us a little different than many other organizations. This is a very simplified slide which I put together the other day. It really just summarizes, what is, as my view of the world. You've just seen that I'm from a business sort of biotech company background. There are 4 different constituents really. There's the academic community, which we support quite a lot. The biotech companies, and we're going to hear from Smart Cells this evening. And then you do need this third component, which is the bigger companies that have to commercialize these products, and it's going to be so important to do that. And then, of course, the products will come out, and hopefully they will be involved. Which one do you want me to use? This one? There we go. Okay. Obviously for the cure. Now, I've got 3 products on there. I don't know whether there's 3 products that's going to cure this disease, but it's certainly going to be probably more than 1. So it's going to take more companies, more effort to do this. So the translation of the science is really critical. And as you can see, I've said that Jdrf, as I see it, is a primary catalyst and driver in this disease, as well as, of course, it funds the disease. And it's a huge advocate for the disease in Washington, insurance companies, etc. So we're trying to build this cure. This, again, is the... I've got a lot of echo here. Hope it doesn't bother you all. Trying to find a planet somewhere far, far away. This is the Brooklyn Bridge, and again, if you can see, just tucked away is where we are. Well, just a few slides, which probably for many of you know this, and I apologize if you do, but clearly the disease itself is an epidemic in proportion. That includes type 1 as well as type 2, and there's 3% increase per year, as you can see. So you can see the numbers in the United States. Finland's perhaps the highest population, it's 50 to 60, so it's half of what US is. But so there's a lot of children and people being affected by this disease, and you can see many of those that get the disease are under 10. It's really difficult to know how many patients there are with the disease, and so one of the things that we've been doing in the last few months since I've been in the organization is start to talk about a patient registry. This will identify the patients, help monitor the patients, and it will allow them obviously to enter clinical trials, but it will also take samples from the patients, and we can use those samples for research over time too. Well, you probably know all this. This is a slide I used to use at Novacell, and really the only good therapy for diabetes today is insulin. And it can cause problems, as I think you all know. Hypoglycemia is one of an important one, and some weight gain. And glucose control is not always being met by the current formulation, so I'm going to show that Smart Cells is going to help us a lot in that regard. So you can see that at the bottom, the various increased severity and how people are treated. So I won't go into that, you probably know that already. But I thought I'd take a step back because, we talk about beta cells, we talk about insulin, but, where do they come from? They come from the pancreas, of course, which is that funny-looking object on the left. And there's about 2 to 3% of those cells in the pancreas that produce insulin.